Alright, ready to start a new video. We're going to start off with the cube draw from the bag. I just wanted to make a little note though that this again is just a learning game in the scenario booklet, and a lot of the sequences of play are omitted during this little learning game. The victory conditions in this scenario have to do with how many of these EYLAU town hexes you occupy, who occupies the most. Right now it's 100% Russian. And the rest of the game, the winner depends on army fatigue points. So as you gain objectives or lose units, lose leaders, you switch army fatigue points back and forth at the end of the game, whereas army, I guess, has the least fatigue, or if you can get your army to collapse first with fatigue and morale, then you win the game. That's what 99% of the game's about. We're just going to go on with this little game here, which is fine in itself. I'm really enjoying the heck out of it without the morale cubes. And you have leader order radiuses and stuff like that. A lot more complications. So, but as for a quick little game right now, this is suit me just fine, and definitely get you ready for get you in the practice of the sequence of play and how the mechanics work, and then you can go on to the bells and whistles. All right, we're up to another chit draw. This thing ready to go. We've yet to get a fire chit, and I don't think a fire chit would even work except for artillery right now. I don't know if I got any unlimbered, so a fire chit might just. All right, it's the blue, the French. All right, like I said, the French only have 2 units here. How's that going to work out? That don't seem right. I guess it is what it is until they're all drawn out. All right, well, the dragoons are pretty much drained. I mean, they can move again. I think that might be a wise move. We'll see what's up with getting these boys in. Why risk another chit draw or another cube draw? It being Russian, let's take advantage, I guess. Lead the dragoons where there are. We'll get these boys in position here. See how we want to address this situation. We'll be right back. All right, well, we'll put the cube over here next to the 2nd Division, 4th Corps. I guess that's who it is. And they will get their first penalized with a 1 movement point penalty to their movement of their units. Well, these units just moved on out. They only used 1. You want to note the facing though. And this spot here is open if anybody comes in, or this spot. So we got these 2 areas covered. This one here, he's got these 2 areas covered. Now these artillery are obstructed, so these guys are hidden from the heavy artillery hitting them. Their little spot to get ready. Now I might move another one into these buildings to cover this area, but this is defensive. We can't be defensive. We got to be offensive. So what we're thinking also as an option, if these boys are here, moving this infantry up. Now this would cost me. I only got 4 movement points in this formation. If I want to switch formations, I'd have to. Am I leaving? Oh, I am. I'm leaving. So there's going to be an extra movement point to leave here, I think. I'll have to find out what the deal is. So could be 1, 2, 3, 4 to move next to a unit. Costs an extra movement point. There you go. So we'd be. Oh, let me see here. 1 to leave. 2, 3, 4, 5 normally, but we got a slope, so that'd be 6. We don't have enough, so these boys can't even get close. I wanted to make wanted to get in a little tack spot here. We got our cavalry here. We can get our infantry in here. Infantry slaughters, infantry in square. See how we can do this with our movements. We'll be right back. All right, then we'll continue with the vowels activation. He'll be the next one activated. I don't know if I already recorded that or not, but here you go. It will be his 2nd activation. So his infantry will suffer a 1 point movement penalty. So to keep track of all the pluses and minuses on the die roll or on the movement, we're going to do it like this. We'll have ourselves a tally die. And we're starting off with this top unit. We'll show you how this works. He has 4 movement points because it's its second activation. They're not that fresh. So then we'll only have 3 movement points. He's in a town which is called an obstructed hex. And over here, when leaving an obstructed hex, a unit enters line or column, your choice, but you pay 1 additional movement point. And then it ends its movement, which I don't really understand. We'll do it this way. All right, line or column will stay in line. So moving out here will be 1 movement point for clear, and another movement point for leaving the town. So you can see how quick those guys get tired, having to reform and everything. So we got 1 movement point left. If we move here, yeah, I think we'll just move here, like this. Ooh, putting us in line at this artillery though. I think I'll stay back this way. So that'll be his movement. He'll be next. But be right back. Alright, unfortunately these units here are kind of in a bog. So let's see here. This boy here has 4 movement points. Because of its second activation, it'll be down to 3. 1 movement point to leave. Obstructed. Leaves him with 2 into the woods, 2 movement points, and that'll be it for his movement. Go to the stage and try to get close next hour or next activation. Alright, these units here will be left. We'll see how it goes here. Look at this, we'll be right back. Another thing I forgot to mention too is we're going to take a little cover in the obstructed hex from heavy artillery fire that has a line of sight on us. It's one of the reasons why I didn't want to get him out here. He'd be out in the open, but these old boys were trying to get up this hill with a little bit of cover. But with all the formation changes and something, that's all I got left. And if they move again, it'll be even less if they get activated again. So there you go. I want to try to get him firing on these squares. We'll have to see though, because I think he might be covered, yeah, by a pretty tough regiment of Hessuers, the toughest they got. But he's only covering this hex and this hex. I could sneak in this way. Be back. Alright, we'll start with we'll call him the 1st Battalion, the 1-4. Starting off with 6 movement points. He only has 5 because he's a little fatigued. Alright, there was a change formation. He wants to get into well, let's do it this way. Let's stay in column. Alright, this here will be 1. That'll be 4. 2. That'll be 3 movement points left. Another 1. 2 movement points left. I want to switch to line formation. I have 1 more movement point left. And I will move into this hex. Away from his, away from his 2 hex cavalry charge reaction. We can get ourselves lined up right here at the edge of this slope and ready to fire. And let them stay in I hope they stay in a square formation. They'll probably get out though. But that will be up to them to make a formation change, and that'll cost movement points. So there you go. That'll be it. That's how he will move. We have these left. We'll be back. Alright, next one will be this unit. I'll start off with 6 movement points. We want to get him over here. So he will have to start off with 5 minus his penalty. He wants to move 1 up to here. That's 4. I want to change facing, rotate, right here. And then move from here, see if we can do this real quick. From here to here. That'll be 3 movement points left. Alright. Then I want to change formation. So that gives me 2 movement points. You're going to change formation before you get next to him, or else I'll be able to fire at you while you're doing your procedure. So now I only got 4. I got 2 movement points left. He's got 4 there. And we will go from here to here. There you go. He's on the same level as us, so we don't get no downhill slope, but we'll get a bonus for us being in line and him being at square. So we got it going on with those 2 units. We've got, ooh, facing. All right, quite a few units left to move, but you can see what we're going up against here. There you go, we'll be back. All right, well, here we are. We got our 2 units that we're able to get in a line and get next to squares, which is really good. These boys here going up that slope and everything else, we're only managed to get there, and they're still in column formation. So still in column, couldn't get quite up here. Now we have our artillery here with 4 movement points. They get a 2 movement point penalty for their activation custom, so they get really tired pulling those suckers around. So I like that. Definitely realistic. So he's only got 2 movement points. We want to get him up on this hill. We'll just do a little bit something like this, and that'll take care of it. That's all we can do with our artillery. Hard to move these boys around. That'll be it. Let's look now with our general. I think we want to put him. Where do we want to put him? We put him right here. Oh, another thing is, we were able to move this unit into this space here. His 2 lethal spots are right here. He had this open. Although if he went here, they would have reaction charged. But I put him here anyway, so this little lethal area, this unit decides to advance. And that's it. There you go. I'm done with the 5th activation of this turn, of this hour. Give you a look at the board. How it looks. All right. EYLAU 219-year anniversary. I hope I got that right. I'm going to check my numbers. I'm pretty sure it was a number. 219-year anniversary battle. We'll be back. All right, we'll be ready for another cube draw. The only thing is, the fatigue level is getting critical for the French units. So if they do get to move again, they'll be with a big penalty. Whereas, ooh, who we at here? These units here, these units here, all get full movement points, I do believe. Huh. Yep. I'm pretty sure that's it. He's at 1 activation. If these units here move again, I have a little bit of a fatigue penalty. All right. There you go. I think I got everything covered. We'll be back. All right, time for the, I want to say chit draw bag, but I guess a cube draw bag. I want to make one note that we did put Lavelle up here with his front line, give him a little bonus on the attack. Oh, we have to figure also 4 cubes drawn for the French means it's going to be a Russian onslaught. So at the end of this turn, we kind of wanted to make a little bit, we kind of wanted to brace ourselves for the reaction. And the only ones left with their fly open and exposed are these boys right here. We'll see how far they can get. I don't know if they can get back this far. But that is it. We would have liked to have gotten him up to here to have protected his flank. Like I said, I don't know how far they can get in, but yeah, we got a little bit of a weak area there. We'll go ahead with the shake up the old bag. Get ready. Oh, sorry about the bad camera work. I gotta remember to keep the camera. Forget it's not just about GWG. So here you go. We'll try to keep that in mind. Get down here. Oh, if I can get reach. Alright, I got a bunch of them here. We'll go for this one. And do the Met French. Keep it going. It'll be their last cube, I think. Oh, no. That's what we predicted. Alright, where do the Russians want to strike? I believe these units here are all fresh. These units here will move with a penalty. We'll find out what the best move will be. And maybe we'll add a little bit of bottage to it too with some die rolls. We'll give the prestige to the boys with the highest. What was that? Initiative rating? All right, I'll take that. Our leader rating will be on the left. No initiative, I guess, to get moving. So that was 7, 11, 8, 2 8s. It's just if you roll 2 dice, you give him these two a +2 and him a +1. Yeah, we might do that just to make it random, or just look at, see what I do. Might be the best one. I don't know about that randomness. We'll be right back. Also wanted to make note that I think if these boys come out of square, with these boys lined up with rifles pointing at them, I don't know if we get a reaction fire, or something, but I think there will be a penalty that will go for this unit right here in front. So these two boys decided they want to come out of square. There might be some musket balls flying, I guess. Oh, now, we're looking at it this way. Ain't much of a threat to the Russians here. Urgency's more on their right flank. So we're leaning towards Bagavout. Is being activated. Or we could do the old bot thing and give him a +1 and him a +2. I think we'll stick with the plan. We'll have Bagavout move. He'll get another activation, which will mean he will get a penalty on his movement, but I think it's more urgent to get them rounded around. I don't know what to do about these squares, so if we leave them in squares, they're going to suffer a penalty either way. That might have been a nice little checkmate move, moving them next to him. No reaction fire from him. That was kind of, I looked underneath there, and no reaction fire for moving in front of a square, so you can just pay the extra movement point cost to get adjacent. Get ready. You're in line. We'll be right back. All right, yeah, we definitely want Bagavout to get activated because we want these units to get out of square. Now I looked, if they were in line formation and they went from line to square adjacent to an enemy, we could have reaction fire, but there's no reaction fire rule from going from square to line. And you definitely want to get these boys here out of square because 3/4 of their men are already facing the enemy. So yeah, we'll want to really get these guys out before there's any red cube drawn to where we have to suffer withering fire. So that'll be the first thing we'll do, is get these boys out of it. We'll check out the rest of them because there still are dragoons around. So we'll weigh the pros and cons, get these guys out of square, at least this unit here and this unit here. And then we'll move and see what we can get. But with the 1 movement point penalty, because we are getting fatigued moving so much within an hour's time, which is definitely what happens. Well, believe me, I'm an old pheasant hunter, bird hunter. Walked many a plowed cornfield. Pheasant hunting's all about 4-wheeling terrain, and yeah, back in the day. Oof. First day wasn't bad. That second day, you kind of got up with those legs burning, thinking, oh my God, I got to do this again, and this is supposed to be fun. All right, let me press pause for a cough break. All right, then, we're ready to go. And we'll continue. We'll be back, show you the before and the after of Bagavout. So we're going to check this out for movement. We're going to check this attack on out. Let's go pros here. Let's get the leader out of the way real quick. All right, they're facing that way. We have 9 movement points, -2, because we're having another activation. So that'll give us 7 on the old tally die. So we want to pivot this way. 1 for the slope, 1 for the clear. All right, that takes 2 movement points. Another 2 to go down the slope. We don't want to go here. It'll get a reaction charge. So we want to go down here. That'll be another 2. All right. That gives us 3 movement points left. Easy for me to find. Then we want to go to another 1 here. All right. That gives us 2 movement points left. We want to get up the slope, which is 1. Then it takes 2 movement points to get next, so we can't do what I wanted to do. I wanted to attack him from the side there. Let's do this again. We have 8 movement points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold on. Oh, not 8, 7. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep, we're stuck there. All right, I think I want him to stay there anyway. And we'll move on. Couldn't get an attack going on there. Look at all this we got looking at us. I don't think they'll get it activated again. We could. Let me see if I want to make that move. We'll be right back. We'll take our general with us too. All right, we'll be right back. All right, next up will be our Polish Lancers, it looks like. Starting off with 6 movement points from 8 because they're fatigued. They will start off with a pivot. That'll be 1 and 5 movement points left. And a 1 pivot. Alright, I'll skip the details and we'll show you what happens after all the Russian units have moved. That'll be the disposition of the Russian forces. Bag of Vows. Ooh, Bag of Vows division is what they're calling it. There you go. Weren't able to climb the slope. Didn't have enough movement points for there, but we have got this hex, all these hexes here covered in case they want to move into them. Hold on, we pause for a cough break. And this one here was managed to get up the slope, so we got a couple of. Ooh, what are they again? The infantry version will be the chasseurs. So we got a couple battalions. Ooh, a couple battalions of Russian chasseurs that have scaled the slope and are up on the hill. There's their unit. So everybody's got a little bit of it. Nobody's moved adjacent yet. Well, number one, it costs them 2 movement points to get close, so they didn't have no movement points to get there. So got another Hussar unit. Anybody comes within here, he can reaction charge. We did take 2 units out of square. So there you go. We kept these 2 in. We'll see. But that is the extent of it. Got our artillery. Now that little line there, that thin line, I don't know if you can see it there. It means light or foot artillery. And you come over here and you can see the thick line. That means heavy artillery. It's one of the ways you can tell, plus their attack values. There you go. It's the extent of it. Couldn't get anybody else around, but we were able to turn their corner. And if we want, we'll be totally fatigued. If we get another activation cube, we could take advantage. I was one movement point away from getting me a charge against their flank. That would have been nice, but we couldn't quite make it. But if we get another cube, it'd be tempting to go ahead and attack that. And like I said, these boys here are stuck in column. All right, we'll call this a video. Don't want to get too long-winded. Having a great time with some Napoleonics. Yep, we will be back. All right, before we call the video, we do have one correction to make. And then I think everything else is good. I went and moved. Here's what happened. We were right here. And he had 1 movement point left. I moved him from here to here with 1 movement point. It actually takes 2 movement points to move there because it takes an extra movement point to move adjacent. So he couldn't have done that. So he'll stay where he's at right now. We'll just double him up. And he just won't be able to fire. Now, will he stay and... will he have gotten out of square formation if that unit didn't get there? I will say... Well, his turn was already taken over, and then it was this boy's turn, so I'll keep him like that. Yeah, because then it was this turn, so he was like that before, so we'll leave him like that. But that's the only correction. Everything's fine. We just won't be able to fire under that square down that slope because we didn't have the 2 movement points to get to there. Doing it by the book. A stickler. are the rules. Call it a video. Be back.